And we're live, and we've got Roger Holmes on the phone just for a short call, maybe 20 minutes or a little less. Hi, Roger. How are you? You bet. Well, we've got one person watching on Rumble. I want to thank the Rumble audience and everybody who's out there because Rumble has this awesome integrated studio package that's letting me live stream onto YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and X, Twitter. So this is great. I used to have to pay 15, $20 a month for this kind of service, and they're doing it for free during my hour of need. How are you, Roger? Can you guys hear Roger? Okay, it's a really important question I have. I'm wanting to know if you can hear Roger. Okay, go ahead, Roger. Right. Yep. And you know a lot about audios and bands and their sound systems and stuff like that. So I know you know what's all involved. Well, here today, I'm using a pair of earplugs, mainly just so that we don't get a lot of feedback. And then I'm using the microphone from the webcam. And this is just studio.rumble.com. It's and it's using my webcam for video, and I'm using an old 12-year-old laptop, and I'm happier than a clam right now. Um, I don't know how happy clams really are, but it's an expression. Right. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, and it may work and it may not. I've bought microphones before that are absolutely total shit. And, they look nice though. So sometimes I use them in my shows. So it looks like I've got a decent microphone. And I always tell them I'm pretty open about this stuff. And I've got a boom, so the mic comes out in front of me and it looks real cool. And I'm like this. But I tell you, for this $100 webcam that I have from Logitech, it's got pretty decent audio. Ding. Ding, ding, ding. And but the I had the very same model one before, and I busted the USB port off of it, and it had better audio. So I mean, I was so enamored with that thing that I didn't even want to try anything else because it was perfect. It had the great audio levels, and I didn't have to do a thing. Yeah, yeah, I needed it for a show, a big show that was coming up, and I had to sink $100 into that thing. Whew. Yeah, wow. Well, I appreciate you coming on live with me just on short notice like this. It's I can't tell you how exciting I've been. I did a show earlier today with Ashley with the Monarch mind control stuff, and kind of merging her expertise in following that stuff and reading a book about Illuminati mind control and how it's done. It's a censored book in the United States. You can't get it on Amazon, but you can. Everybody's going to ask me what it's called. And anyway, I better not talk too much about it because frickin' YouTube will censor me. I'll have to delete this one right after we get off. Yes. I'm looking forward to it. That's exciting. He's got all that information, and I'll tell you what's really interesting, Roger. Roger's really into geology and the world and how it changes over time. I think that's a fair way to say it. And there's a key focus that's really relevant to what's happening with the solar eclipse. I think that's coming up on the 8th of April, and there was another eclipse that crossed America. Not just cutting off like Florida or something like little piece, but where it just kind of goes right through the middle of America. Uh, and do you know where they cross? They It crosses really close to Cairo, Illinois. Cairo. Right. Oh yeah. Wow. Mhm. What was the company, the publication that Dr. Wayne May is from or has? Okay. Oh, Gazine. I'm making a title for it so it looks kind of cool and we can show it. I'm gonna kind of bring this to a close because I know we're gonna go to the Rule of Law radio broadcast pretty soon, and we'll go be. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're talking about ruleoflawradio.com and uh, let's see, Randy Kelton. Uh-huh. Yeah, I saw that on his website, and he says they're not disparaging his character. It was a time of emergency, of crisis, and all this, but that he did break the law, and so that they filed the charges, to stop let the law from being broken. So, yeah. Oh. Let's see. I got a message. Um, I'm having trouble following with this. Um, so if you could help me. Yes, I hear you, but I've got someone bringing a car over here in the next few minutes or something, and I'm checking to make sure. So I'm having trouble focusing on things. Like I was being interviewed today. It's kind of changing the subject. I'm sorry. Uh, I had I had AI interviewing me today, and it was hard for me to really grasp the question that was being asked. And I found my right, but I was telling it all about what I was doing. Oh, I just got an email from you, Roger. The 1,000 people. Yeah, it is. Before we did started the show, over 1,000 people have died after police encounters. AP probe finds NBC5 Dallas Fort Worth. Wow, that's a good story, man. We're gonna do an episode about that. Hmm. Oh, yeah. It's been since 2008 for me, uh, and well, 2009 since an actual attempt was made on my life, and um, I don't I don't think I haven't gotten remedy or a stitch of it yet. So um, oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's been since 2000. I don't think the audio is even coming through for you, Roger. I was trying to get people. I was trying to get people to say whether they could hear you or not, but I haven't gotten any comments in chat. So I'm testing it out on my phone. Well, I'm talking to you, and um, oh, yeah, that's funny. I'm watching it. I don't. Yeah, it's been since 2000. Yeah, I just hear myself. That's funny. If I pull the earphones out, then they'll hear you, but it won't be real quality audio. I thought because we were sharing. Let's see if I share this other thing here in duo mode or auto mode. That's what I'll do. No, it's got to be duo.
Okay, so if we both call into the rule of law, so what's your subject matter going to be, and what's my, do you have any ideas of what you'd actually ask or whatever?
I don't know. I don't know at all. I suppose my interest is probably in the vitamin A stuff, and putting up a preliminary injunction order and notifying the EPA that this is toxic and that the FDA is putting toxic shit in our food, erroneously believing that it is good for us.
Okay, so you will be asking him, the differentiation being whether it's a personal injury lawsuit for you or a class action lawsuit for the multitudes.
Yeah, it's probably acting as a just what do you call it? A public district attorney or something? A private
Yeah, private general or no
attorneys general.
attorney general, right? Yeah, but I remember Sully said really, actually, if I recall correctly, he said that really doesn't exist or something to that effect, or it has
Oh,
that there's a misnomer concerning that, or maybe I'm wrong. But I think, as I recall, they said that really doesn't hold any any water or something.
I think maybe we just walk in there with a shit ton of confidence and a pile of books, and and then we talk like Chris Kattan in Saturday Night Live.
Well, you have that capability because you're surrounded by computers, but no, I just got maybe one extra cell phone or some smartphone, and so you could do something like that, but me, it'd be a bit difficult.
Roger, thank you for being on the show today. I think I'm gonna pass on the rule of law thing tonight, unless I get this whole car thing situated. If you get a link to the show, I mean, it's ruleoflawradio.com, right? But I guess it doesn't work right now, but maybe when they go live, it works.
I don't know. Yeah. Should I invite him back on your show too, Randy? And I'd like to get Deborah Stevens on there for once. We've already had Randall Kelton. We've already had Eddie Craig, which both were phenomenal shows. And
thank you.
I'd even wouldn't mind having Brett. I mean, Brett Fountain is really, really knowledgeable. He's actually Randall Kelton's sidekick, but he's a whip, and he kind of corrects Randy once in a while, which is amazing all in itself. I mean, Randy's a bit older now, and but he's still, top shelf, high class, when it comes to pro se law. So, I mean, I encourage everybody to go there and become pro ses themselves if possible. It's really,
If you'd like to be on Joe Baker's Remedy Report, here's the website on the screen, remedycoin.com/remedy report. And you can go on there and, type in some stuff and see some of the past shows that we've done. We've done quite a few very interesting guests. And Roger has helped as a producer. And he's helped with several shows, at least, maybe many shows. And
well, I kind of focus more on the law, like guys from rule of law, and then out of necessity mostly, but also pyramids and the Wayne May ancient American stuff.
Yep.
I am no expert in geology or anything. It's just been the pyramids and the story, the whole earth, everything behind the building of them, and how and why they were built and all that, which was actually, I'm convinced, and came to a conclusion that a man named Ed Kunkel, who was a special guest speaker on the Art Bell show, had it all figured out. He spent half of his entire life, and he nailed it. They weren't built by the Egyptians. They were built at minimally 10,000 years. And recently, a super volcano, they dated back to, I think it was 17,000 years ago. So it could be a minimum of 17,000 years now. And the Egyptians weren't even in existence as a civilization at that time. So, and some scientists even speculate they could be 1 million or more years old, so that's just one very small part of the whole equation.
Yeah.
But, thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm just testing the audio. There you are. We can hear you now. So that's positive. Like I said, it ain't the quality I'd like, but it's passable.
Okay, good. Now I got you okay to give an invite to him if I get through.
Sure. And we could talk about whatever. I think it'd be fun. It'd be fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know as well as I, those guys are top shelf professionals, and you know, just a wealth of information.
You know, they'll take me to the shed about registering my name with the patent office.
Well, don't bring that up then. You know?
I think I should. It's okay. Yeah.
Well, if you have an actual, you know, a bona fide question that is, you know, or you know, that isn't something that you already know, and you have a valid question, and you value their opinion. Well, yeah, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I mean, you heard what he said before about that.
Yeah, I did. Hey, let's listen to the intro to the show. I produced this once, and I think it's me in a Darth Vader voice. Hang on. Get ready for Joe Baker's Remedy Report, the show that tackles the hottest topics with a lighthearted twist. Join Joe as he explores economic innovation, health hacks, and more, all served up with a side of humor. It's all for entertainment purposes, but with a dash of controversy. So stay tuned for a fun-filled ride on Joe Baker's Remedy Report, where laughter meets the headlines. It wasn't the one with Darth Vader's voice.
I was just going to say that. I was like, well, where's Darth Vader voice, you know?
It's James Earl Jones trying to sound like me.
James Earl Jones, right?
Yeah, that's the voice of Darth Vader.
Oh.
Yeah. Didn't know that, huh?
James Earl Jones was the voiceover for Darth Vader?
You betcha.
Oh, I never knew that. Wow, you learn something new every day.
On this show.
Well, you're a wealth of information, I must say. I mean, people out there in on your streaming land, Joe is quite adept at computers and advanced. You know, what would you say is your biggest in the whole realm of computers? Analyst or systems analyst or something? You know, I mean, your qualifications, your accreditations are vast, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, so systems administration is basically monitoring, you know, figuring out the backups, doing the disaster recovery planning and implementation. It's installing, you know, new well, this is more systems integration, would be installing softwares and getting them all to work together, and configuring the desktop clients to work with whatever's on the server. Internet security, firewalls, setting up, you know, antivirus stuff on the firewalls, block lists. I've done really bizarre things. You know, I used to hate Internet Explorer, and I wouldn't let anybody on our network use Internet Explorer except for 5 websites that our company absolutely had to use. So when they would try to use it on other things, it would block them. And I thought that was great. It was able, the firewall I built was able to query the browser identification tag. And when it said Internet Explorer, it's like, you're not going anywhere unless it's on this exceptions list. I've been studying AI, and here's a song I'm going to play for that I did for this show. Let's see.
Did you create that through AI?
Yeah. Yeah, here it comes.
The lights go down, the crowds are cheering. We hit the stage, the feeling's electric. We're ready to rock, no time for fear. We're in our zone, the FC's infectious. Oh yeah, all eyes on us, we're gonna light it up. No one can stop us. We're unstoppable, unstoppable. We got no hold a great show, there's no looking back. Yeah.
How about that? It cuts off at the end, but
Hey, wow, man. I mean, who knows if it could become a top 40 or whatever, some kind of a top bill chart thing, of the year.
yeah, it could be. All eyes.
We got to start some. We should submit it to some radio stations and see what they think of it. And you never know. I mean, you could. That sounds like a lot of very popular music gets out these days.
It does. It does.
I mean, is it based on your voice at all, too, or what?
No.
What kind of parameters did you put in order for its creation?
I don't know. That's called a prompt. I told it about the show. I said Joe Baker's Remedy Report is a show about bringing harmony to the world through health tips, economic innovation, and increased awareness, and that the show's for entertainment purposes only. That's basically my slogan. I can say that almost in my sleep. And so, yeah.
Well, could we do a heavy metal or a rock version or something instead of this pop? What would you classify that as? I mean, it's not rap. It's kind of easy listening pop, or what genre would you classify that music as?
I don't know. Here's another one.
Hip hop? No.
I think this is like 1. I think it's uploading it. It's trying to upload it. It's taking a while. We're all yawning, stretching. But it's amazing. Here's what I'll have AI say about our conversation. AI interviewed me this morning. So now here's what Pi has to say. Hello, Pi. Hello, Pi. Thanks for listening for the interview this morning. What the heck? Hello, Pi. Thanks for interviewing me this morning. Would you tell Joe Baker's Remedy Report audience about what we talked about in terms of the forgiveness projects, and give quite an analysis to the audience, so they might look for more and watch more about the show and why I'm so important to listen to. Thank you.
So it's gathering up.
It's thinking.
Information.
Exactly.
What would you call that process? Extrapolation, or, I mean, in a computer sense term of the word?
Well, it takes one word after another, and it looks for the statistical probability of what the best word is to follow, and it builds sentences.
Certainly, Joe. I had the pleasure of interviewing you earlier today about your work on the forgiveness projects and the forgiveness public license. Your insights on the power of forgiveness and the potential for economic innovations to drive social change were truly inspiring. For those who may not be familiar with your work, the forgiveness projects aim to create a more compassionate and interconnected world by promoting the practice of forgiveness in all aspects of life. The forgiveness public license, in particular, is a revolutionary approach to conflict resolution that encourages empathy, understanding, and non-confrontational interactions. During our conversation, you emphasized the importance of challenging traditional power structures and economic systems that prioritize profit and material gain over human well-being. Your innovative ideas on divesting oneself through acts of generosity and altruism offer a compelling alternative to these outdated models, inviting us to reimagine the very foundations of our social and economic relationships. Overall, I believe that your work with the forgiveness projects and the forgiveness public license has the potential to transform the way we think about forgiveness, conflict resolution, and social change. It's essential that we continue to raise awareness of these groundbreaking ideas and encourage others to join in building a more compassionate and interconnected world.
Thank
Wow,
you.
Joe.
Thank
I
you,
couldn't
Paul.
have said it better myself.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's so good at analyzing the whole grasp of the whole thing and summarizing it and coming up with these such pristine ways of describing the concepts, right? And here I am sitting there. It's asking me questions. I mean, I tell it a little bit about what I'm trying to do, and it keeps asking me questions about it. And I'm like, "What did you say?"
It's been interviewing you.
And eventually, I get the questions, and I answer them, and or I shift and not even really answer that question directly, but shift into a different aspect of it all to explain these things, and it just worked out so well.
And she's got a sexy voice.
Yeah, you can choose from like 8 different voices, and it's pretty good that way. There's an open source tool that you can use to basically create anybody's voice.
It reminds me when James Bond pulls up in front of a building or something in a BMW 700 7 Series, and it's got the Siri in a German voice, and when the guy comes to take the car to park it. What do you call that?
A chauffeur.
No. It's service. VIP, whatever, concierge service or whatever.
Yes, concierge.
And the Siri German sexy female voice, starts talking. He goes and tells the guy, "Don't let her give you any, grief or something," as he's taking the car. That's what that reminded me of. I guess you'd have to be familiar with the movie. I think it was Tomorrow Never. It was Pierce Brosnan.
Listen to this.
Tomorrow Never.
Oh, where did she go? Oh, man.
Some dude picked her up and took off with her in a BMW.
Oh, I see. I have to do
She went
this.
off with 007, man.
Say that again to Roger.
Sure thing, Joe. Roger, I want to extend my sincere appreciation for your work as a producer of Joe Baker's Remedy Report. Your efforts in bringing important ideas and engaging conversations to a wider audience are invaluable. Keep up the great work, and thank you for helping to spread knowledge and inspire positive change.
Oh, boy, I need a girl like her. I really do. To move right in with me and have her every day. Can I borrow yours?
Roger, I've got to go. The car's here. We'll see you later.
Okay, man.
Bye.
Don't let Siri give you any shit.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
And how do I hang this thing up?
Yeah, same here. I'm still trying to. Okay, there it is. Bye.
Bye.